Right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I did make a screw up of that. We're supposed to be scheduling this for 8 a.m., but unfortunately, I had a little bit screwed up. My apologies for that. Welcome to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this podcast right here on StreamYard. Well, we all heard it from several hours ago. It's now 10 to 11, 10 to 6 Eastern Standard Daylight Time and going on 3 p.m., 10 minutes to 3 in Pacific Daylight Time. And here is what is going on here for my knowledge, and here we go. And this gentleman right here, what you see on the bottom left of your screen, Mr. Boris Johnson has stood down as Prime Minister, and there will be election in the middle of the autumn. And also it says here on the bottom of your screen, which is scrolling on by, is that members of the public were calling him a liar. So they are extremely somehow off with that. That I will freely say here on this live broadcast here on youtube.com. And we're also broadcasting on StreamYard, and this will be copied and pasted onto the blog page as soon as this commentary is completed. So earlier on this week, myself and two friends went off to the Greenway, which is in in some place in County Waterford, someplace. And I have to say, it was absolutely fecking awesome. Absolutely awesome. That's all I can describe that now to where we went earlier on this week. Not mentioning the day, or I'm not mentioning any individuals that I went along with. But the Greenway now used to be a railway, for those who do not know, for those who are tuning in for the first time. A Greenway is that you can walk and you can cycle, walk your dog, call it what you want, and you can rent out a bike as well. Or you can bring your own, whatever tickles your throat the most, whatever tickles your fancy. So, myself and two friends, I brought my own bike, and one of my own two colleagues rented out a bike as well. There's ordinary bikes and there's electrical bikes. Now, the electrical bikes now, for those who do not know about the Greenway, is that if you rent out an electrical bike, let's turn these off anyway. At least that's my story covered anyway. For those who want to get an electrical bike or wants to invest in one, well, for that person to rent out a bike on the Greenway is about 70 quid, €70, like that. So you could have it as long as you like, and you could cycle to different places on the Greenway. Now, the last place that we went to was we went to Kilmac in County Waterford. Then we went to Dungarvan, to wherever that is, and it was absolutely friggin' deadly. So we were cycling on an old railway track, for crying out loud, and it was deadly. It was absolutely fucking deadly. And like, what else can I say about that? Like, it was just awesome. It was, and I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was just cool to see. Yeah, there was an example logo as to what you see there. It was just cool, and I literally enjoyed it. I did. And what else have we got here? Yeah, countdown. StreamYard overlay. Add an overlay. Yeah, you have to add an overlay. What the hell? So I was watching Sean's View Entertainment there, right here on YouTube there, moments ago before I got on here, and from my knowledge that he's going to be not on my channel, but he's going to be on his own channel. So whenever he does set up that channel, whenever that is, do check out his channel, Sean's View Entertainment, and all you have to do is just go into YouTube for the moment anyway. And we all know that this year's SummerSlam will be in Nashville, Tennessee at the Nissan Stadium July 30. SummerSlam is on a bit earlier this year, folks, so it's going to be quite good. And there's going to be a last man standing match for what I've been told earlier on today in reference to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. So that's going to be a fight of its own. And secondly, we're only just getting started with SummerSlam, and Pat McAfee, SmackDown color commentator, he will be squaring off against Baron Corbin. Now, these two gentlemen have a history, and they played in the NFL back in the day. They played for the Indianapolis Colts, if I have that correctly. So they were very good friends until now, till Mr. McAfee said some remarks about Baron Corbin, about argument's sake losing a match or something like that, and like argument's sake bum ass Corbin and all that stuff. Not to be directing derogatory statements at the fans here. I'm not doing that, but that's his statement anyway. So it's going to be a good SummerSlam this year, I do believe. And what is this now? Is this a joint partnership between the World Wrestling Federation, WWE, AEW, teaming up? Yes, you heard me. AEW teaming up with WWE. I have said this there some time ago. Instead of AEW having big ultra friggin' egos built inside their friggin' heads, why don't they form a partnership with the WWE? That I would love to bleed and see. I would like to see that on WWE television anyway. And that itself could boost up the ratings, because I saw a sign in the audience there one day. I think it was at a WrestleMania of this year when McAfee was competing. McAfee equals ratings. So AEW could be ratings as well with AEW. So if both ratings went up, so is this my impression that AEW is helping the WWE to spike its ratings to go up? Because we have known for the last number of years that ratings have somehow been lopsided. It was up and it was down, up and it's down. First, second, third quarter, whatever you want to call the catchphrases. So it's going to be. It should be good. It should be a good some sort of a tag team between AEW and WWE. It should be good, and I look forward to, well, hopefully seeing it or hearing the results or watching the results or something like that. It should be very interesting for some here on this podcast. That I can assure you. And we're live on YouTube, and do feel free to drop in a comment or on a private chat or anything like that. So what else is going on in the world of social media? Let's have a look and see. Let's have a look. And puppy power. Oh yeah, here we go. And this really tops the list. Injury hampered Nadal withdraws from Wimbledon. Obviously, he had to withdraw due to an abdominal injury, according to a report that has been out this afternoon, though I have not been watching it due for some time. And dims the brakes. Johnson resigns as Tory leader. So I do firmly believe that there, as I said in my previous blog there, that there's weakness with the Tories when it gets to a prime minister and all that shit. Pardon my French, please, ladies and gentlemen. Because I do firmly believe that there's some sort of weakness with the Tories when it gets to a leader of ruling the country. I often do feel that, and I really do feel it big because we don't know for now on whom the next PM is going to be. That's in reference to the UK, of course. We do not know. I do not know. So we just have to wait and see between the autumn or the winter season, or whenever this election takes place. And what we're going to do now is we're going to swap cameras if we can do it. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Lovely. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. At least we can. At least I switch camera angles anyway. At least it works. That's good enough for me. Hi, Mom. Look, Mom. Look, no hands. So, with that in mind, the Greenway to where we're at now. The next time we go to this Greenway is going to be we're going to go a little bit earlier to whenever that is. We're going to go a little bit earlier and see what happens from there. It should be good, and I look forward to seeing that Greenway again because I found it totally deadly. But what happened now today? Now I nearly ran out of control. I nearly ran out of control on my own bike. Now I wasn't at fault because there was one or two individuals in the way, and I was going, oh fudge, keep her steady, and I was going on a bunch of bleeding stones for Christ's sakes. I was going on stones, so talk about two people almost crashing into a freaking ditch, and so one of my friends had a bit of a problem. I wouldn't either it was a problem or not. I'm not 100% sure, but that this current, I'm not saying his name, but this gentleman's wheel became somehow loose or something like that. I do not know how it happened, but thankfully, what did happen was that we stopped for a little time out, a little break, whatever the case might be, and it it was like this now. It was really, really hot out there now. It was about 23, 24 degrees in County Waterford earlier on this week. Today, Thursday, July 7 of 2022, and it's just 11:03. And a very good evening to those who are watching live. And if you cannot catch me live, but that's okay. This will be posted up on the blog page right here on right on Facebook. So that'll be a pretty awesome vlog to see anyway. So the Greenway, so we're heading there a little bit earlier. But for those who are wanting to rent out a bike, let me turn up this mic. For those who want to rent out a bike, you can actually do that, and I'm sure there's no hassle from there. But we've seen this done before, and I remember renting out a bike while I was in the Canary Islands there many years ago, and you get say about 6, 7 quid a day or something like that. So that's like renting out a rental car for argument's sake. Just saying that for an example's sake of a price. So any bike that any person that's on a greenway, either they're it's okay to walk on the greenway, but if you want to rent out a bike, you have to pay. Say about 20 to 30 quid depending on what kind of a bike that you want to get, etc., so to speak. And hold the thought right there, and we're switching angles again. So it was pretty good renting out that bike. Yes, and we're moving that camera around. And yes, I have two web cameras around because I have two web cameras here in this booth, and it's pretty awesome. I wish the flickering would stop. All it was you could do is just go from like 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 a transition, like from top to bottom or something like that. So it is a nice, hot, humid night outside, and the skies are absolutely blue. It's dark outside, but I could see the color of the sky still. This this just gives me the chills it do, and it's absolutely deadly, and I love it. This is what I like about the summertime, and to tell you the truth, I must get out more often anyway, to give my knees a little bit of exercise and all that stuff, because I am getting so well. Here's the problem with me, folks. There are times that I do have weak knees, and one person said to me there some time ago that I may have osteoarthritis in my knee. Now, I'm not saying this for any any sympathy purposes at all. No, I don't expect anything like that, as in for competition or anything like that. No, forget about that. That out, thrown out the window. Forget about it. But today now, when I got off that flippin' bike now, my God, my tush was absolutely sore. It was absolutely sore after that Greenway cycle. So, for those who have missed out, we did about 22, 23 miles, or kilometers, excuse me. So that's over 2 plus hours that we have done, and that was just it was the coolest cycle that I have ever been on, and it was absolutely deadly for sure. Absolutely deadly. And that's how I thunk about today's activities anyway. With two of my friends that I got a phone call there earlier on this past week about it, and it is absolutely awesome. Okay, back to the news on hand for those who have missed out, and here we go. Bottom of your screen, puppy power. Here we go. Members of the public were calling Mr. Boris Johnson a liar. Obviously, they must have been watching on their phones, and they were still not pretty happy about it. And the top headline shows, and the survey says, in red tape there, it says Boris Johnson steps down as PM. But the question, on what date is that election going to be on? That is the question. All we have to do is just wait and see what else is going on in the world of social media. Johnson's intent to hold a Checkers wedding party. What's this about? Okay, let's have a look at this. Boris Johnson is only in his mid 50s, for Christ's sakes. Boris Johnson and his wife are reportedly ploughing on with plans for a wedding at their Chequers Connery retreat as the British PM shifts to a caretaker role in his final days in office. Okay. The pair were married in a low-key private ceremony, which at Westminster there this past year of last year of 2021, which I looked at the screen by the way. Uh, a small group, this is credited to the RTE website, ladies and gentlemen. A small group of family members and friends attended the wedding and organized in a strict secrecy, which was followed by a reception of in the gardens of 10 Downing Street. Well, wow. Talk about keeping things low keyed. At least he didn't. At least he didn't break the COVID ruling this time. At least he didn't have the house parties this time. He didn't have the Christmas parties this time. And for those who can remember, that there was a TikTok made about that earlier on, and quite honestly, I have that on my mobile phone. And by the way, for those who Follow me on TikTok. It's Judge Nation 2022. So you can follow me on that. That's how you can get in contact. Well, follow me, or if you want to ask a question or something like that. So, where does this lead now? Like, where does this leave the future of? Before we go off the air, where does this leave the future of Boris Johnson? Where does it leave him? I tell you where it leaves him. I'll answer it for you. Maybe I've answered my own question. Maybe I did. Maybe I did not. But here's what I said in my previous commentaries. I think he's severely bruised. This is a guy that refused to step down just because he, at the time, broke the law in reference to the Downing Street parties. He just refused to step down. Then the other opposition leader is still under police investigation, and and if he's found guilty, which highly unlikely that he is, but this was all work related now on to Mr. Starmer's side. But for those who do not know about Keir Starmer, is that he was a prosecutor at the time, and I do firmly believe he knows on what he's doing, and he does abide by federal law because he is a lawyer, was a lawyer. He believes in it. He believes in the system. I do firmly believe that. So I think with that, Keir Starmer will remain in office. I do firmly believe. And if he is, that's a very big if now, ladies and gentlemen. If he is found guilty, and I'm hoping not, then it's going to be a major blow because I liked his digs at Boris and all that stuff. I like these digs. I like these smart ass answers. I liked that, which was cool to see. The more I see it, the more I laugh at it. That I will tell you for nothing, folks. And it was just his comebacks are absolutely awesome, and this is a guy that really can take it, if you know what I'm saying. Like, just think when you have Sakir Starmer like in a position that he cannot answer. He just finds a way to to get at his opponent, and then when you see that, you see the actual PM bowing his head down and shaking. He's saying to himself, "This is rubbish. This is not true." Like that. All of it was true because you've broken the law, dude. You've broken the law, for Christ's sakes. So that's the reason why the leader of the opposition has you by the blonde roots, sir. That's why. Jesus. Holy mackerel tonight, lad. I swear to goodness. Like, oh, God almighty. And yeah, I got a new webcam earlier on this last week. I just couldn't resist on treating myself. Hold on. I don't want to. There it is. This is a webcam, and I bought that as I, well, there several weeks ago. It was my birthday. I only had this camera since this past week, and thank you to my missus who treated me to that. I do appreciate you. And so I got this camera on July 2. Oh, yeah, I do have it written on the box, by the way. July 2 of this year. So I'm going to keep that box and keep it as a memento because I just want to thank my missus to be for getting me that web camera anyway. And the camera runs on 1080p, but on some YouTube settings or whatever it is, it runs on 480, which is okay, which I can deal with anyway. And that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. A very good night from Judge Nation here on July 7th of 2022. Do enjoy the rest of your evening and do keep safe, everyone.